level keeps on fluctuating. Ako nga ho, meron akong high blood ako Pero umiinom lang naman ako ng gamot. And,
Anyway, Chairman.
so that's my point, Mr. Chairman. I move for to subpoena this person.
Yeah, so it's not a motion. You move for it. So there's a motion to issue subpoena for Mr. Roy Gomez.
Mr. Chair, may I move that we cite Mr. and Mrs. Arnel Pangilinan in contempt, Mr. Chair, so that when they arrive from their vacation, they would be arrested at the airport. So move, Mr. Chair.
Second the motion.
There's the first motion to cite in contempt Mr. Arnel and Sonia Pangilinan on the basis Section 11 of the Rules of the House for contempt in violation of refusal to obey orders without legal excuse. So, do I hear a second? There's a motion to contempt Arnel and Sonia Pangilinan in this committee. Duly seconded. Any objections? The chair says none. The motion is carried.
Mr. Chair, in relation to that, may we ask also the Department of Foreign Affairs to coordinate with their counterpart in the United States, particularly in the state of Las Vegas, para ma-implement rightly itong order by this committee, Mr. Chair.
Before we ask the opinion of the DFA with regards to the request of manifested by Chairman Dan Fernandez, we should rule on the second motion with regards to the detention order for Arnel and Sonia Pangilinan.
Mr. Chair.
Chairman Ako, please proceed.
Since we have cited in contempt Mr. and Mrs. Arnel Pangilinan, may also respectfully move that the husband and wife team be taken in custody and after their or when they arrive in our country and be detained in the facilities of this Congress. So move, Mr. Chair.
For how long, Chairman Ako? In violation of letter A, that's the discretion of the committee.
Sections DNF, that would be 10 days, but the violation is under section A?
A.
For 30 days, Mr. Chair.
So there's a motion to issue a detention order for Arnel and Sonia Pangilinan for 30 days.
Second the motion.
Duly seconded. Any objections? The chair says none. The motion is carried. As the Sergeant at Arms is directed to coordinate with all law enforcement agencies in this country to bring Sonia and Arnel Pangilinan in the House premises.
Mr. Chair.
Yes, Congressman Dago.
Considering that the person involved have already submitted to this committee and somewhat excuse later, I think it would be necessary for us to roll on this to justify the previous motion to cite them in contempt. So we will first dispose this by denying this excuse letter, Mr. Chair. I believe we need to deny this excuse letter first.
Anyway, the first thing that we have make is to ask the opinion of the medical service of the House, and the medical service of the House narrates her opinion that the excuse of Miss Sonia Pangilinan and Arnel Pangilinan, yung medical reason for her to be excused is not valid. So that is why we, Chairman Akop, manifested and moved to cite in contempt Arnel and Sonia Pangilinan. Are you okay with that, Congressman Daguop?
If that would be the belief of the committee, I submit, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Thank you, Kong Sergio. Anyway, the next is the invitation that was sent by this committee to Mr. Roy Gomez, which is also subject of contempt by the House, but was given furlough during Christmas break. And he completed the detention order after Christmas. And now, once again, he was issued a show cause order in the previous. To correct, it is just an invitation to Roy Gomez, and unfortunately, he's not present today with an excuse of also medical reasons. So, can we ask again the medical service with regards to the medical certificate that was submitted by Mr. Roy Gomez? And just for the information of the members of this committee, Mr. Roy Gomez, when he was detained in the premises of the House, we sent him to Philippine Heart Center for proper medical attention during the time of his detention. So, Doc, can you please? Thank you. Please proceed.
Sir, it seems po based doon sa mga labs na pinresent po ni Mr. Gomez, he is indeed suffering from diabetes.
Sorry. Doc, pakilakas-lakasan lang po. Thank you.
Dun po sa medical certificate that was submitted or the laboratory results submitted by Mr. Gomez, it is indicative that he has diabetes. Although, sir, kasi ngayon lang po kasi binigay. So, I was asking dun sa records namin sa medical kung before pa talagang diabetic na siya or she was treated as a diabetic. And then meron din po siyang sinubmit na chest x-ray result indicating na he has PTB. However, the chest x-ray was done in January. So based on our practice, 2 weeks of continuous anti-TB meds renders a patient sterile. So he can go out already of isolation. Mag-mask na lang.
Thank you,
po.
Doc.
Doc, can you kindly affirm the veracity of all these medical reports that was submitted to this honorable body? Kasi basically, makikita ko yung mga result, meron lang mga certain area that are abnormal.
Yes, sir.
But all of these sa mga laboratory chem, medyo may mga negative siya. Can you kindly confirm to us if this medical certificate is valid or not? Kung pagsusumahin mo lahat, yung lahat ng laboratory result that was submitted to us, can you honestly manifest that these are valid for us not to issue a subpoena to this person? With your analysis of all the kasi may nakikita ako dito pa negative.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
Mr. Chair?
Yes, Chairman Akop. Please proceed.
If I look at the medical certificate, it is just a result of a blood chemistry done on the subject person. Pero nakalagay dito, in small letters, the results are best interpreted by a healthcare professional and are not intended to be used as the sole means for diagnosis or management. Nakalagay dito eh. So, nakalagay dito, very clear, that these results are not intended to be used as the sole means for diagnosis or management. Kasi blood chem lang, result lang to eh. So, Mr. Chair, and I think I agree with the medical practitioner we have at present today na hindi pwedeng excuse ito na hindi siya maka-attend, Mr. Chair, as far as this representation is concerned. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman Akop. Yes, Vice Chair Kit.
I would just like to ask a few questions to the doctor, and if you could just give me a yes or no answer, if possible, po, doctor. From the blood work that was submitted by the person invited, is it life-threatening? Yes or no?
It can be medically managed, sir.
Medically managed.
Yes, sir.
Would the blood work or the blood results render him immobile or incapable of physically coming to our hearing?
I think, sir, we should do a physical examination para ma-assess para namin talaga yung physical capabilities ng pasyente.
Yes, so what you're saying is that based on the mere blood work that was results that was submitted to you, you are not in a position to determine whether or not it would render him immobile or incapable of appearing personally before this committee. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Now, would the other results indicate any other serious illness or medical conditions that, again, as I've said, would render or would make him incapable of personally appearing before this committee hearing?
Yes, sir. The elevated creatinine may be indicative of a renal problem, sir.
Yes,
However,
but physically, would it
physically
render him immobile? Unable to speak, to answer questions?
Sir, I'll base my on kasi in December we saw the patient. So ano naman namin siya na okay naman po yung pasyente.
Okay, thank you, Doctor. That's all, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Vice Chairman Flores. So, what's the pleasure of the committee with regards to the status of the excuse letter pala of Mr. Roy Gomez?
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
I think it is been a practice of those who have been invited and somehow are being put on the edge of the wall to have a lot of excuses the next time that we have tried to invite them. And perhaps, Mr. Chairman, to prevent this kind of situation to happen again, and try to have many excuses using the medical services, I think it is imperative for this committee to show our seriousness on solving the issue at hand. And by doing so, we need to point out that we need them here in this committee to resolve so many issues surrounding their accountability on the issue that we have tackled. So, Mr. Chair, I move that we subpoena Mr. Roy Gomez for the reason that I think with all this laboratory result that is not pertinent to the condition that he was implying in here, na in fact, sabi niya, my blood pressure level keeps on fluctuating. Eh ako nga ho, meron akong high blood ako eh. Pero umiinom lang naman ako ng gamot. And,
Anyway, Chairman.
so that's my point, Mr. Chairman. I move for to subpoena this person.
Yeah, so it's not a motion. You move for it. So there's a motion to issue subpoena for Mr. Roy Gomez. What's the pleasure of this committee? Chairman Akop?
May I respectfully amend the motion, Mr. Chair?
If willingly daw.
Willingly.
Please proceed, Chairman Akop.
May I move that we issue a subpoena for Mr. Roy Gomez and require him to bring his recent medical diagnostics to the committee? So move, Mr. Chair.
There's a motion to issue subpoena for Mr. Roy Gomez with a criteria for him to submit the latest medical certificate of Mr. Gomez.
And Mr. Chair,
Yes, Chairman Akop.
I think we're going on leave by March 20. Yes. So the date would be determined when we will have our next hearing, Mr. Chair.
And the date will be determined when the next hearing will be scheduled. Do I hear a second